Good evening, everybody, and welcome to yet another maths lesson. I remain your favorite maths tutor, Azulike Olea. And in today's lesson, we will be talking about fractions. Before we proceed, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you will be notified whenever we drop a new video. So back to our lesson of the day. Common fractions. We use fractions to describe parts of quantities. Fractions can be used to describe parts of quantities, and fractions can be written like this: 1/3, which is 1/3, 3/5, which is 3/5, 4/9, which is 4/9. 4/9. And the number below the line is called the denominator. It shows the number of equal parts the whole has been divided into. The number below is the denominator, while the number above is called the numerator. The numerator shows the number of parts in the fraction. This is the numerator. I'll write it clearly over here. 4/9. This is numerator, and this is the denominator. Now let us look at mixed numbers. Mixed numbers. A mixed number has a whole part and a fractional part. A mixed number has a whole part and a fractional part. E.g., 3/1/2 is a mixed number. 3 is the whole part and 1/2 is the fractional part. This is the same thing as 3 plus 1/2. This is a mixed number, and it can be expressed as a single fraction. Let's look at how we can express this as a single fraction. 3/1/2 is the same thing as 3 plus 1/2, which is 3/1 plus 1/2. To express this as a single fraction, we take the common factor, the common multiple of the denominators. Common multiple of the denominators, or the LCM of the denominator, and in this case the LCM of 1 and 2 is 2. What you do is you divide these 2 by 1 and you multiply by 3. You divide 2 by 1 and you multiply by 3. So 2 divided by 1 times 3. These 2 divided by this one multiplied by 3, which is 6, plus these 2 divided by these 2 multiplied by 1. 2 divided by 2 multiplied by 1. These 2 divided by this 2 multiplied by this one. which is 2 divided by 2 is 1 times 1 is 1. So the answer is 7 over 2. Excuse me. So 1 over 2 is the same thing as 7 over 2. Or there's a quicker method to do it. There's a quicker way to do it. 1 over 2 is equals to, you multiply this 2 by this 3, and you add it to 1, and you add this 1 to it. I don't know if you get me. It becomes 2 times 3. 2 times 3 plus 1 divided by this 2, the denominator, which will be now 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1, 7 over 2. You see, it's the same thing. So I think this is an easier method to do it. 1 over 2 is 2 times 3 plus 1 divided by 2, which is 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1, 7 over 2. Very easy. Very easy. So when the numerator of a fraction is greater than the denominator, it is called an improper fraction. When the numerator, this is short for numerator, is greater than the denominator, it is called an improper fraction. E.g., 7 over 2. The numerator, which is the one on top, is greater than the denominator. Improper fraction. But when the numerator, is less than the denominator, it is a proper fraction. It's a proper fraction. E.g., 2 over 7. The numerator is less than the denominator. A proper fraction. I don't know if you're following. Let us take a quick example. Example 1. Express 4/5 over 6 as an improper fraction. Express this as an improper fraction. So let's look for the solution. Let's solve this. 4/5 over 6 is equals to, using the methods I showed you earlier, we can derive this. 4/5 over 6 is 4 over 1. 4 over 1 plus 5 over 6. Find the common multiple of 1 and 6, or the LCM of 1 and 6. It is 6. 6 divided by 1 times 4 is 6. 6 divided by 1 is 6 times 4 is 24. Plus 6 divided by 6 is 1 times 5 is 5. So this becomes 24 plus 5, 29 over 6. Or more quickly, using the other method, 4/5 over 6 is 6 times 4, which equals to 24 plus 5 over this 6, which is equals to 29 over 6. The same thing. So whichever method works better for you, you can apply. They will both give you the same answer. So let's look at another example. Example 2. Express 19 over 8 as a mixed number. (19 over 8 is the same thing as 16 plus 3 over 8. 19 is 16 plus 3, and this will be 16 over 8 plus 3 over 8. 8 divided by 16 is 2 plus 3 over 8, and this will be 3 over 8. 3 over 8. That is the answer. Or you can say 19 divided by 8 is equals to 19. 8 will not divide 19 completely without a remainder. 8 cannot divide 19 completely without a remainder. So the closest number that can divide 18, the closest number to 19 that can divide, the closest number to 19 that 8 can divide is 16. So 8 divided by 16 is 2. And when you multiply that 19 from 16, when you subtract that 16 from 19, there is a remainder of 3 divided by 8. So it's the same thing. You can either use this method or you use this. I'll come again with this method. 8 cannot divide 19 completely without a remainder, and the closest number to 19 8 can divide without a remainder is 16. 8 divided by that 16 is this 2, here, and 19 minus 16, 19 minus that 16 is 3. There's a remainder of 3. Then over the denominator 8. That is how we got this. So we move quickly to lowest terms. Lowest terms of a fraction. The value of a fraction stays the same if both the numerator and denominator are divided by the same number. The value of a fraction, say x over y, remains the same if both the denominator and if both the numerator and the denominator are divided by the same number. The value remains the same. The value remains the same. So let's take an example. E.g. 16 over 24. If you divide this 16 over 24 by 8, if you divide both the numerator and the denominator by 8, it will give you 2 over 3. Therefore, 16 over 24 is the same thing as 2 over 3. I don't know if you get me. 15 over 60, another example. When you divide it, both the numerator and the denominator by 15, this will give you 1 over 4. 15 divided by 15 divided by 15 is 1. 60 divided by 15 is 4. 1 over 4. Therefore, 15 over 60 is the same thing as 1 over 4. That is just what I mean by the expression the value of a fraction stays the same if both the numerator and the denominator are divided by the same number. When the numerator and the denominator have no common factor that can divide them both or reduce them further, then it is said that the fraction is in its lowest or simplest form. When the numerator and the denominator have no common factor that can divide them further, then the fraction is in its lowest or simplest form. Like in this example now, this 1 over 4 has nothing that can divide both the numerator and the denominator further. So it's in its lowest form. It's in its lowest form. Same. Likewise, 2 over 3. Nothing can divide both the numerator and the denominator further. So this is in its lowest form too. That is all you need to know about the lowest form of a fraction. They say you should find the lowest form of so fraction. It means you should divide. You should find factors that can reduce both the numerator and the denominator until they are in their simplest form that no other factor can reduce them. So look at the addition and subtraction of fractions. Example, simplify 2 over 9 plus 5 over 9. Since both fractions have the same denominator, we just write down the denominator 9. Since both fractions have the same denominator, 9 and 9, we write down the 9. 9 divided by 9 is 1 times 2 is 2 plus 9 divided by 9 is 1 times 5 is 5. So this becomes 7 over 9. This is a proper fraction. Let's take another example. We have 5 over 6 plus 3 over 8. In this case, the common multiple of 6 and 8 is 24. Or the LCM, you can find the LCM of 6 and 8 is 24. When 24 divides 6, it will give you 8. 24 divided by 6, it will give you 4 times 5, 20 plus 24 divided by 8, it will give you 3 times 3, 9. So this becomes 29 over 24, which is equals to 24 divided by 29 is 1, remaining 5 over 4. Very simple. Let's look at the third example. 7 over 10 minus 4 over 15. A common multiple of 10 and 15 is 30. A common multiple of 10 and 15 is 30. 30 divided by 10 is 3 times 7 is 21. minus 30 divided by 15 is 2 times 4 is 8. So this will be 13 over 30. Very easy. Very easy. Now, let's look at multiplication of fractions. Multiplication of fractions. Take some examples. Simplify 2 over 5 times 3. This 3 is the same thing as 3 over 1. So to simplify it is very easy and straightforward. You just multiply the numerator together and you multiply the denominator together. So 2 times 3 is 6 over 5 times 1 is 5, which will be 5 divided by 6 is 1, with a remainder of 1 over 5. Simple. Let's look at another one. Simplify 2 over 5. Simplify, sorry. Three times 2 over 9. This 3 is the same thing as 3 over 1. So you just multiply numerator together and denominator together. It should be 3 times 2, 6 over 1 times 9. 9. Very simple. No stress. Let's take another one. 3 over 8 of 2 over 9 times 1 3 over 5. 3 over 8. This of is times. In mathematics, the word of means multiplication. Of times. We change this one to improper fraction. You change this 2 over 2 over 9 to improper fraction. It becomes 9 times 2, 18 plus 20 plus 9 times 2, 18 plus 2, 20 over 9 times this one becomes 5 times 1, 5 plus 3, 8 over 5. So we just cancel out this 8, we cancel out this 8. 5, we cancel out 5 here, and you cancel this 20 to become 4. This 3, we cancel this 9 to become 3. I don't know if you get me. 8, we divide 8, 1. You divide this 8, 1. 5, we divide this 5, 1, and divide this 20 to become 4. 3, we divide this 3, 1, and we divide this 9 to become 3. So the resulting answer will be 1 times 4 times 1, which is 4 over 1 times 3 times 1, which is 3. And this is 1 whole number 1 over 3. In mixed number. 1 whole number 1 over 3 in mixed number. So now we look at the division of fractions. We'll take an example. 2 divided by 5 over 8. I want you to take note of the fraction at the right hand side, is 5 over 8. This is the same thing as 2 divided by 5/8. Take note of the denominator. In this case, take note of the guy at the right hand side, and in this case, you take note of the denominator. So when dealing with division of fractions, 2, this becomes, you can convert this to multiplication. And how do you convert it to multiplication? This becomes 2 times this fraction that I circled will be turned upside down. Instead of 5/8, we'll find the reciprocal. It will be turned upside down. It becomes 8/5, which will be 2 times 8, 16/5. 1 times 5/5. I don't know if you understand. When looking for divisions of fractions, the divisor, the numerator, sorry, the denominator is turned upside down. We multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator of the divisor when looking for divisions, when deriving the divisions of fractions. Let's look at this. 5/8 divided by 2. This is the same thing as 5/8 divided by 2/1. And this is where we focus on the divisor, because this, in converting it to multiplication, we are going to take the reciprocal of this divisor. That is, we are going to turn it upside down, and instead of 2/1, this becomes 1/2. 1 goes up and 2 comes down, just like that. It is turned upside down, and this becomes 5/16. Very simple. Take note of the rule. Denominator is turned upside down. The reciprocal of the denominator is determined, and the equation is turned to multiplication. Take another example. Find the value of 214 divided by 3/7. 214 is the same thing as 4 times 2, 8 plus 1, 9, 9/4. Then divided by 3/7. To change this to multiplication, 9/4, it becomes 9/4 times the reciprocal of this. This is turned upside down, and instead of 3/7, it becomes 7/3. 7/3. 3 cancel out this one to be 1, cancel out this 9 to be 3, and it becomes 3 times 7, 21/4 times 1, 4, which should be 4 divided by 20. 21 is 5, with a remainder of 1/4. Very easy. Let's take the last example and call it a day. Let's take the last example. Now simplify this. 2/3 times 1/2 divided by 4/5. So let us work on the numerator first. This is 2/3 times 1/2, which will be 3 times 2, 6, plus 2, 8/3, times 2 times 1, 2, plus 1, 3 over 2. This 3 cancel out this 3, and we'll be left with 8 divided by 2, which is 4. Now, when we factor in this numerator, which is 4, into this equation, it becomes 4 over divided by 4 over 5. Remember, we first solved the numerator and we got 4. So when we insert this 4 into this equation, it becomes 4 over divided by 4 over 5, which is 4 over 1 divided by 4 over 5. We change this to an improper fraction, and this will be 4 over 1 divided by 5 times 4 is 20 plus 4, 24 over 5. Now, to change this division to multiplication, it will become 4 over 1 times the reciprocal of 24 over 5, which is 5 over 24. We turn it upside down to change this division to multiplication. So this becomes 4 over 1 times 5 over 24 instead of 24 over 5, because we are now converting this division to multiplication. So 4 will cancel out this 4 to be 1, and cancel out 24 to be 6. So the final equation becomes 1 times 5, which is 5, divided by 1 times 6, which is 6. Very easy. And that is the basics you need to know about fractions. And with this, we come to the end of this class. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the class. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and also hit the notification bell so you will be notified whenever we drop a new video. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next class. As for now, it is goodbye.